What's up, everyone? Welcome to Bold Voices. I'm Angela Belcamino. Thank you so much for tuning in. Appreciate you being here. I hope everyone had a beautiful, lovely Christmas holiday. Here we are. We're about to embark on 2026. I cannot really believe that a whole year has passed. It feels like I just got used to writing 2025. You know how that goes. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. So happy you're here. Really excited to have my guests tonight. Please chat with us. Please interact with us in the chat. We love connecting and talking with all of you. We want to hear what you have to say. If you have questions, what's up, Joe? Appreciate you guys being here. If you want to share the stream, that would be amazing. You want to like it, you want to subscribe over on YouTube, would be much appreciated. We always appreciate the support. A lot of people have been interacting, live on the stream and then via the clips. It's been really cool to hear the conversations around the topics and the things that we've been discussing. It's been really, really cool. I've been enjoying it. And this is going to be our last two streams of 2025. So tonight, I have the incredible Kevin Smith, Madeline Elizabeth, and Jay here with me. Love these guys. Madeline, that headband is so cool.
Thank you. I love headbands. They keep all my hair out of my face.
Yeah. I probably need to invest in that.
Yes.
I love it. Fabulous. I hope you all had a great Christmas. It just came and went. It's gone. It's, all the
Thank
prep.
God.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear the Mariah Carey song, Kevin? Did you ever hear it?
Yeah, she got to me December 7th.
Ooh.
I spend my holidays avoiding Mariah Carey at all costs because that song sucks.
Yeah.
And it's like every store.
Yeah, well, you had a good run. You had a good run of not hearing it.
I broke my record this year, so.
Yeah, you were really proud of it for a little while there. Well, thank you guys so much for joining. I thought for these two streams this week, which will be normally, Bold Voices doesn't stream on Mondays, but with all the holidays, things are whatever. So we're doing Monday and Tuesday. Recapping some top stories, things of 2025, kind of reflecting on the year. It's been quite a year. But before we get into 2025 and sort of reflecting and talking about that, the hottest news of the day is the fraud in Minneapolis. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about that first, because it's kind of the talk of the day or couple days, with Nick Shirley's investigative report on his on-the-ground efforts to expose alleged widespread fraud in Minnesota involving over 110 million taxpayer funds allocated to various programs, primarily in Somali American communities. Kevin, I know you said earlier that Nick Shirley broke the internet.
Yes, he certainly did. Particularly with the new algorithm, 120 million views on a 42-minute video. That's pretty wild. Where the new algorithm where you can stick your head out the window and yell and more people would hear it. It doesn't matter how many followers you have. But I was talking about it today on the show that what I love most about it is I do love the exposing of the fraud that we all knew was happening, but it also really shows people that if you have an iPhone, you're a journalist at this point. And a lot of people are, he's not a real journalist, he didn't do that. Well, the reason why Nick Shirley was able to do this is because the mainstream chose not to. And what he did, he didn't, break the earth here. He wasn't uncovering, the treasure on Oak Island. All he did was just connect dots that were there already and put it out for the world to see. And I think it's great for the future of independent journalism, for the future of stories that the media chooses not to care about. And now people have to answer the questions that we've been asking for quite some time. How is it possible that 100,000 people living in one part of one city could have so much money? There's Bentleys and Ferraris rolling around Lincoln Park, Minneapolis right now. And I don't know how that's possible. And people are starting to ask the question. So shout out to Nick for, I think he gained 700,000 followers in like 2 days. I'm like,
Wow.
I feel bad for I feel bad for his phone.
Well, that being said, let's watch a little clip of Nick's viral vid.
To be closed. No one's opening the doors.
You work here?
I was, yeah. What's happened?
Where are the kids?
Yeah?
It says it's licensed for 74 children. Right here, state of Minnesota. Where are the kids? They
Yeah?
got paid $1.26 million in fiscal year 2025. It says they have a capacity for 74 children.
When?
Where are the kids? Right here. State of Minnesota website. You work here and you don't know?
I don't know. I was there before. I don't know what's going on.
Were there any kids when you worked here?
He's there. Kids there. What's
How
up?
many?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Yeah.
You worked here. Okay, well then you're not of any help.
Can I put my son in a daycare here?
No, I don't know.
Can I speak to someone?
No, I don't know.
No? Yeah, I would like to see if I can put my son Joey here.
Who's your son, Joey?
My son Joey. Can I check out daycare center?
No! You're a liar. I'm the owner.
Do you put your kid here in this daycare?
No.
There is one child in there. Yeah, I'd like to know if this is a legit business.
Me, I'm scared of you too. How come I explain everything?
You're scared of me?
Yeah.
Why?
Because of your curry.
Because of my color. You said you're scared of me because of my color. Does that make you a racist?
Yeah, no.
But
no.
you said you're scared of me because of my color.
I'm not saying you're racist.
You said you're scared of me because of my color. That makes you a racist. So right now,
This is my
they're all
tax
getting
money.
mad because he's showing the
I
paperwork
don't
of
know
this
that.
business being registered as a business. 74 children,
I've
no
lived my
children.
whole life
We
here.
saw one child when the lady opened up the door.
Wow.
So
where
now
did
they're
this
all
money
getting
go?
mad.
What was this money spent on? 1.26 million. What was that money spent
ask the
on?
owner.
There aren't any kids.
Ask the owner and the kids.
Well, then why are you talking
That's
for the
not my
owner
proof.
if you're
That's
telling me
not
to
my
talk
proof.
to the owner?
I'm sorry. I'm not understand what you're talking about.
Do you have a child here?
No.
Does anybody?
No.
Where are the 74 kids? Did you lose them? Did you lose these kids? Do I need to call someone? Do I need to issue an Amber Alert for missing children? Are these children missing? It's not my business that children are missing. 74 infants and toddlers, preschool.
The proof's right there. There's no children anywhere.
It's from the state of Minnesota right here.
All right. I think we're moving on to the next location. Have a good day.
Wow. The classic deny, right? I gotta know what you're talking about.
Just the noise. La 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 la. Like, it's so frustrating. Just think, guys, if we didn't let those people into America, the Statue of Liberty would cry. Or I don't know what,
Yeah. So I wasn't really familiar with Nick before this. Have you been familiar with him for a while? What do you know or think about Nick and his work?
I mean, yeah, he does a lot of this stuff. This is the biggest one he had. Probably the biggest one before that was he went down, as we all know, he went down Canal Street and filmed everybody selling the stolen merchandise, and which everyone always did on Canal Street. But now it's like run by like Congolese gangs, which is so much different than just like street hustlers playing 3-card Monte. He got punched in the face at that one. But he's an up and comer doing these sorts of things, and this was obviously his break, and I hope he keeps doing more of them.
I definitely respect it. I mean, in terms of, we've talked a lot recently about transparency, right? And asking questions and getting answers and like having the facts and the real information out there.
Well, I mean, it exposes the bias too. Like it's so blatant that it's not even funny. Like the Star Tribune, the Pioneer Press, all the Minnesota press agencies and stuff like that, they're suppressing it. They're not covering any of it. It's just not even like they're not even looking to be honest. They're not even looking to be fair. They're not even looking to, like, they have a clear agenda, and this doesn't fit it, and so they're not going to cover it. They have no intention of doing that. They're gonna, and the other part is it's bigger than this. Like the politicians, right? They're getting kickbacks from these people. They're getting kickbacks for looking the other way. Are the media companies getting kickbacks for it? Probably. Why wouldn't they cover it? Why wouldn't they cover the biggest story in America? it doesn't make any sense. If they were covering it, everybody would be looking. They would that's money for them. That's the business that they're in. So why wouldn't they cover it? Are they getting kickbacks for it? I would assume so.
Yeah, so Joe's saying that the fraud was known, but it kept getting swept under the rug by the state. I mean, it sounds like from what I was kind of looking into, this has kind of been going on there for years with the pandemic and different, like they've sort of been looking into different things that were happening for several years.
And the thing is too is like when you see Kash Patel say that they're sending a swarm of FBI agents and they're going into a business or whatever, like a low level business, the thing that I automatically assume is, oh, okay, absolutely nothing's gonna happen now. That's the first thing that I assume, because that's what's gonna happen. They are not gonna go after politicians. They are not gonna, when you send them into these businesses or whatever, and you're talking to the low level guys or whatever, they're not gonna take down these politicians that were looking the other way, that were basically in on the fraud. They were getting kickbacks for all this stuff, it's just a joke. It's so frustrating to watch the DOJ just fucking fumble the football every single time. I'm telling you right now, the Department of Justice can make or break conservatives in 2026. They absolutely can, and they're gonna fucking break us. I'm telling you, they're not gonna do shit.
I think we have to question Todd Blanche. Who is he the one that's running DOJ, or is Pam Bondi? Todd Blanche worked for Obama. He was a Democrat, a well-known Democrat for years. I know his son. It's either he's the godfather for Adam Schiff, or Adam Schiff, he is the godfather of his son. Not sure, but how he started representing Trump when all of the indictments came on Trump. And now he's a part of this administration. The DOJ is a complete disaster. I saw Vance tweet about it, and it's like, I don't want to see tweets about it from the DOJ. I don't want to see tweets about it from Cash, from Vance. I don't want to see an email, them raising more money on it. Let's just see you guys actually take action. Vance, go follow the trail. What is Bondi going to do? Are we going to see indictments? This is insane. And again, with the transparency and great work on his part, we're going to continue to see guys like Nick step up and step out and shine, because that age range is who is being affected by all of the things that are going on. They are the ones that are saying, coming out of college, and do I have a job? They are the ones that are looking and can't buy a home. Or when they go back to their hometowns look like hell again. And they're like, what happened to the town I once knew? So, I think we're going to continue to see the Gen Zs and the millennials come out of their shell and really fight back on some of this. They all definitely know how to use their phone. They all have TikTok. So we're going to continue to see more and more transparency, but it's going to be from the online sleuths. And it's funny because I omit like both sides. Like when Democrats do it, we're like, what the hell is that? That's bullshit, But at the same time, like when Republicans do it, we need to take ownership. Like it's going to come from both sides, and everyone needs to be prepared that anybody can pull out their camera at this point.
Absolutely. You're totally right, and I wish more people would. I can't tell you how many people send me tips about like school board meetings and stuff, and I'm like, did you record it? And they're like, well, no. And I'm like, why would you not record your middle school principal talking about the virtues of having a boy in a girl's locker? Like, why would you not record that? And it's incredibly frustrating when I see it. But this Somali population in Minnesota, I don't think people understand the size or the scope of it. Minneapolis has 430,000 people in it. It has 100,000 Somali nationals.
Yeah,
that is I mean, look, we're in New York. Having ethnic enclaves is not weird. You go to Flushing, it's all Koreans. You go to Howard Beach, it's all Italians. You go to Broad Channel, it's all Irish. But it is not a quarter of the city. So why would Jacob Fry or Tim Walz or what the hell is that? Peggy Flanagan? Why would any of them roll over on this community when they know if they arrest one of them, they're going to lose 100,000 votes like that and be primaried by someone exceedingly worse, like Omar Fatah, who in fact is not the captain now, but does look like the guy. I don't care what anybody says. he really it's not a race thing. It's you look like the actor who played the part.
But Kevin, real quick, just to touch on your point, where in big cities, a lot of these people, they come and they build their families. Chinatown's when they moved into New York City, families started coming to certain parts of towns. Italians come to different parts, just like in Pittsburgh, there's Bloomfield, Little Italy, and there's Little Italian in New York. Everyone knows where to go. If you're on the shore, what you're getting. It is what it is. But when you just all of a sudden import all of these Somalians into Minneapolis, in all these suburbia areas, people are like, what the hell is this? Also, there's a culture difference. People, it's not just a black and white thing. And I always tell people that. Like, I have lots of friends of all different backgrounds. And I can tell you that if you go to their house for dinner, you go to my house for dinner, you're going to get a lot of different things. Now, if you go to my mom's house for dinner, if you go to my house for dinner, you might get buttered noodles. But like, if you go to my mom's and like the Italian side of our family, it's, you're going to get a ton of food on like Italian food. If you go to my other friends who may be Mexican, they're going to have a ton of Mexican food. It's just so different. The way they're raised, the way they style, the way they dress, the way they're brought up, the way they go to church, everything is different. So when you import different cultures, this whole idea of melting pot, it doesn't work. It's bullshit.
Well, yeah, I went to high school there, and I can tell you, I have friends from black, white, Hmong, like that's generally what was there when I was growing up in Minnesota, and now everybody that I knew has moved out of the city. Like they all moved to Hudson, Wisconsin. They moved to like the outskirts. Like if they live in the cities or whatever, they're gonna live in like one of the furthest suburbs or whatever. Everybody moved out of the city, and Somalians moved in, and they're entrenched there. It's crazy. And you can see why these things are happening now. It's just it's frustrating for me why we can't get any action from the DOJ, why we can't get the FBI to go after the big fish. If we're going for these low-level people, it's not going to solve any problem. There's obviously a system that is allowing this, and it's like it's so frustrating to watch. It's like I said, when Cash Patel said they were sending in a swarm of FBI agents, right? And you see the guys walking into one of the supposed businesses or whatever, and it's just like, oh, okay, absolutely nothing is gonna fucking happen. Like we're not taking this seriously. Like literally, the governor is involved in this, and they need to go after the big fish. They're not afraid if you're just going to go in and go after these onesie twosie mom and pop places.
Yeah. Also, and you know what? Not for nothing, but I don't really think that we should have to house somebody for 12 years if they get convicted of fraud. Like they should just leave. Yeah. They should be gone. Like I don't think the Minnesota taxpayers should have to build a new prison just for the Somali fraudsters. And Minnesota's going to be tough because of who the attorney general is, Keith Ellison, who is one of the highest ranking members in the Nation of Islam in America. And look, that is just, the people, ethnics, very religious people, they protect their own. And I don't see Keith Ellison dropping the hammer on these people. I really don't, because, he's going to do whatever Farrakhan tells him to do.
And I said this, I think I said this another time on one of Angela's shows that, Republicans were going into these cities, ISIS, Homeland Security, and we're kind of gaslighting these different people. We're gaslighting these cities. But then it's the mayors that are saying, stand down, you don't have to go home. It's all okay. Don't listen to them. If we don't start seeing arrests, if we don't start seeing indictments come, nothing will ever change. I said that they should have arrested the Chicago mayor months ago when he said no and let Antifa just storm our ICE agents. And then look what happened in DC with our servicemen just before Christmas. It's insane. And now this is a great example. I mean, I keep looking at I thought Trump would want to seek revenge. I mean, he always talks about revenge. Well, at the end of the day, there was hundreds. He had so many indictments. Why is Bondi not going after these people? We know indictments can happen. And I don't want to hear another House hearing. I'm so tired of House hearings. Nobody cares about a damn House hearing.
Right.
I don't care.
Yeah, James
We
Comer
all
is.
know. We know the truth. Like the facts are the facts. Like I don't.
Yeah.
Especially when half of the House hearings are behind closed doors. Like they brought Jack Smith in and they did. I'm like, what is the, what were you guys? That's so. If you're gonna do it, if you're gonna do a pointless political exercise like a House hearing, at least get the fundraising clip so that we can share it on Twitter. Like, doing it like just sitting back and it's ridiculous.
But that's the problem. Is all they keep doing is talking, tweeting, and creating fundraising clips on it, and nobody's actually getting anything done. And the bottom line is this: they only have so long to start seeing. The American people want to start seeing indictments. Midterms are around the corner. And if we lose the House, it is not going to be that easy for the Trump administration to continue out their plan for the rest of this term.
Oh, yeah. All those show trials that we hate from Comer and all those guys, if we lose the House, as useless as they are, they end immediately.
Mike Johnson needs to go.
He is so bad at this.
Mike Johnson's terrible. Him and Chuck Schumer are like this. Their Hanukkah party made my skin crawl together. They're like, they represent, if there is a uniparty, they represent it, and they make me want to just like die when I see the two of them together. Because Mike Johnson acted like, Schumer shut down. That's bullshit. I know you two get drinks. I know you two are together. You guys hosted a Hanukkah party and you're not even Jewish. Heads up, Mike Johnson, you're not Jewish. Why are you dealing with Hanukkah parties and not dealing with other things that need done in the House?
Yeah.
Like, these are the problems.
Yeah, if there was a poster child for low T in America, it should have fucking Mike Johnson's picture on it. Honestly, like, he is so feckless. Like, I'm so tired of this guy. Like, he has had an entire year to accomplish anything in the House, and he's accomplished nothing. They basically same exact budget. Really, not a lot of change. Like, we have.
No, they had to push 100 bills into one, so the American
Right.
people don't even know it's there. We're supposed to be we are supposed to love small government, small bills, and we just put everything into a big bill because Mike Johnson couldn't get the job done.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Also, that's why so many are leaving Congress, because I think so many people see the writing on the wall for the midterms, so they're getting out while the getting's good, or they're someone like Troy Nehls, who isn't the best, but he's been on the better side, who's probably just sitting going, this is all bullshit. Like, if Tim Burchett was like, I'm done with all of this, I'm going home, I'm going to go back to my ranch or whatever the hell they do in Tennessee, I wouldn't blame him.
He's one of the good ones. He's one of the few good ones.
I've said for a long time, Susie Wiles, like, as a PR person and a spin person, she's great at what she does. When I found out she was going to be the chief of staff, I about died because I knew what this term would look like. She's great at playing the political game, and she has led the way for that. She's a huge fan of Mike Johnson. A lot of people forget that Susie Wiles ran Netanyahu's campaign, which is very odd. People don't talk about that. But Susie Wiles did that. She's a big fan of Mike Johnson, and, she toots the horn for Pam Bondi. There's a few people that are pretty close, and they all continue to cover each other. And until we break up this, this power, and until Trump's ready to really voice it, nothing's going to happen.
Yeah, definitely sounds like people are ready to see some action. Like, put your money where your mouth is, show me the money, do some things. Some interesting comments going on here in the chat. Unpopular opinion, Johnson somehow managed to get the tax bill through. The problem is there is a 2-vote margin.
Well, yeah, he got the tax bill through, but how much bullshit was inside of it? And it was supposed to be different appropriations bills so that we could all vote on them. That was what Matt Gaetz did with the Kevin McCarthy thing. It was supposed to be different, and he just omnibusted it right through. No one has any idea what's in it. There's all sorts of payoffs to AI companies and surveillance, and there's good stuff in it that got the headlines. The tax on tips and overtime and Social Security and the SALT tax deduction. There were good things in it, but there was a lot of pork. There was a lot of bullshit. I can't wait for Rand Paul to put out his Festivus report that he puts out every year, because that's the greatest political document that gets released every year, when we find out that we've spent $12 million to find out how much tequila a squirrel could drink, or whatever stupid things they end up funding, some bridge to nowhere in Hazard County, Georgia. There's a lot of bad things in it, and it was supposed to be different. And I think that a lot of people on the right are going to start to get very frustrated when they see nothing change, and it's going to lead to a lot worse outcomes.
Well, and the biggest thing I see is, I think people like Marjorie Taylor Greene and other people in Congress, I think they see the writing on the wall. And if they can retire, they're like, I don't want my end to be what the end is going to look like here. They're like, I can get out now. I can have my book deal. I can go on. I can run for Senate. I can run for something else. But this is not what I want. And the voters that voted for me, I know this isn't going to work. And so I do think we're going to continue to see people leave. We're going to continue to see people give up. And we have really great candidates who are not being seen, because unfortunately, there's a lot of bullshit that goes on with the way our elections are run and who's running things. And Mike Johnson hasn't even put out who is the targeted races. Nobody's talked about targeted races. People have called in. They're great congressional candidates and with incumbents and whatnot that are wanting to run. And it doesn't matter, because nobody knows who's a targeted race.
Yep. I mean, I'm lucky because my races here are always targeted.
Races, a lot of, I always tell clients, just tell them your race is targeted. You should always go in thinking your race is targeted. But at the end of the day, it makes a huge difference when there's support in DC coming for you.
Oh,
right?
Absolutely. Especially when the RNC is out there boasting, oh, we've got 90 million cash on hand. Oh, really? Well, where was that for Jack Ciattarelli? Because you certainly didn't put any out in New Jersey.
I had to call an RNC. I had to call the previous head of RNC like a week ago, because I couldn't get through to people in the house that I was supposed to get a hold of, because nobody wants to fucking work. They're all going to Hanukkah parties, and half of them say they're Christian. I don't understand it. I'm lost.
Well, I go to Hanukkah parties because I like potato pancakes.
I'm all for going to playing dreidel, but we have work to do too. The clock doesn't stop.
Yeah. No, you're right. And hopefully, I mean, we're getting past the new year here, so hopefully, come January, people start removing their heads from their asses, or there's going to be a bloodbath in 26. I mean, I'm talking like a Newt Gingrich Tea Party style, thumping for Republicans, and it's not going to be good. There's going to be everyone in this administration will be impeached. Happy Kwanzaa, Joe.
Happy Kwanzaa.
I still have no idea, and this isn't me being Christmas is my thing. I still have no idea what Kwanzaa is. I don't know.
It's a made-up holiday.
I don't know
who
celebrates.
It's a made-up fucking holiday.
But someone celebrates it. Which people?
It's a Black Panther made-up holiday by an FBI informant. That's literally what it is. And
so Sharpton made it up?
No, I forget the name. It's I don't remember. It's something Shakur or something like that. But it's
Asada Shakur.
It's something like that. Yeah, it might
Tupac's
be.
aunt?
No, it's. I think it might be. I don't know. It's something like that. But it's
Joe said Byron Donalds.
Oh yeah, he put out a tweet about Kwanzaa. He got pretty well roasted for that one. But I'm not going to roast Byron Donalds, because if you ever met him, he eats fucking burritos bigger than me, and I'm terrified of him. He's Byron Donalds is the biggest person you'll ever see. If you ever see a professional defensive lineman, and you're like, whoa, you're that big. He's that big.
We appreciate Bud Green watching too.
Yeah. Angela, get a real job. No one cares.
Thank you for watching, Bud.
I tend to think that people do care.
He cares enough to watch you on YouTube.
Right?
He's watching and commenting. Thank you for the comment, Bud. Please keep supporting.
We appreciate it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We'll take it. Here, we're happy you're here. Thank you.
Bud Green 7B. All right. Well, you suck.
I know. Why don't you go by your name? I love when people that don't use their own face, their own name. It's I have an idea. Until you have your real name, not your stripper name as your handle, and some AI picture that isn't you, don't come at me because like that's bullshit too. You can't hide behind a fake account and want to call me out. At least I'm the same person. My ID matches who I am.
Yeah.
My stripper name is not Jay for the record too.
And I'll tell you what, if I ran into a stripper named Black Hawk, I'm getting the hell out of that titty bowl.
Yeah, there you go.
Real quick. I don't know what's about to happen, but I don't think I'm gonna like it.
Yeah.
No, I always laugh like when these Anon accounts come at me. I'm like, and I read their Twitter names, or like I got like a Rumpelstiltskin yelling at me the other day. I was like, imagine if we turned all these people into like strippers. Like it would be hilarious.
I wish they were strippers, but they're like men who have never touched a breast. Like they're like 25 and can't like grow a beard. Like I just want to. Well, I would say I want to slap every one of them, but you know. Did that already. So it's just you should, like, if you're verified on Elon, listen, honey, if you're verified on Twitter, you shouldn't be able to see accounts with less than 50 followers that isn't verified. That would clean up so much mental health stuff. Cause I got one right here. Debate me, fat Jew. He's got 3 followers and a picture of Fuentes flipping the bird. Here we go. You're built exactly like a fucking penguin. Which
the worst is when you get in is like I like had to quit getting into spaces and listening because you'd listen to these people fight with somebody and I'd go look at this person's account and they had like 12 followers and they're like had 5 tweets and I'm like, why are we fighting with this person? We don't even know who it is.
Twitter Spaces used to be great. Now they're just like boomer group therapy sessions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to love Spaces, but now I just don't even like. I'll support friends who are trying to do them or whatever, but like. There's 2 topics that they talk about. They talk about Gaza and they talk about Israel. It's one or the other. They're gonna either be pro Gaza or pro Israel. That's all Spaces.
We're gonna get a lot of shit. I have a feeling Gaza is gonna be the topic. I feel like January. I feel like Trump's good because I think with the Fed coming in May, I think they're gonna want to get all the bad PR out. So I have a really good feeling that they're going to like let Israel do what they want to do because I do think Jared Kushner and I do believe they want to rebuild Gaza for some reason. So I think they're going to do a few things in the Middle East the first month or 2. Let that go. Get all the bad PR out in the beginning of the year because come May, we're going to see the Fed change and the rates go down. And I think that's when things will actually start to see positive. But I think the first couple months of the year are going to be a shit show. If I'm going to be fair.
Well, you know what? I do think that the economy will bounce back after Kevin Hassett takes over at the Fed and lowers the rates. But people are going, and this is not like look. I helped Trump get elected all 3 times. But this isn't like a point about that. It's just based on the new tax bracketing system and the no taxes on overtime. And most people not changing their withholdings or their withdrawals, you're going to see over the next couple of months a market boom and major tax refund checks simply and without them even doing anything. And Bessent is very honestly of everyone in the cabinet, and other than Lee Zeldin because he's my favorite because.
I love Lee Zeldin. He's the one that actually has gotten shit done.
And look, I mean this. I say this all the time. If there's a scandal about Lee Zeldin and you want an objective take, do not come on my show. I owe that man my life in every way. But Bessent,
such a great job at the EPA.
But Bessent is like I trust him probably more than I trust anybody else in this because he's like a boring finance guy. Like that, every time he talks, I'm like, oh my God, you sound like my accountant. Just get to the end of the sentence. But you know what they've set up for 26, I think, tax particularly for the first 2 quarters, and then with Hassett coming in, well, I think it's going to be Kevin Hassett as Fed chair. He's going to cut the rates by a whole percentage point, like the first meeting of the Fed. So while this is not financial advice, you may want to buy into index funds. Just an idea, but I think there is going to be a market boom coming over the next couple months. Which, if there isn't, if this thing stays the way it is, the bloodbath is going to be exponentially worse.
Yeah.
I want to go back to Richard's comment and see what you guys think. What's being overlooked is the DOJ, FBI, and DHS are a construct of the feds. They're managed by the feds. Patel is not free to be a lone ranger. He's being given directives and will give you just enough to keep the pitchforks off.
Well,
I mean, Patel is just the front man or whatever, but like he was given the task to overhaul the FBI, right? To overhaul it and to run down these things. And so, in terms of like, it's a really tough task what we've asked him to do, because you just don't grow FBI agents in a couple months, right? It doesn't work that way. These guys, most of them are career professionals. They've been in other law enforcement agencies, and you can't just recruit them and send them to training and completely overhaul. See, there's Madeline. There was the eye roll. You cannot just grow.
He's like watching as he talks.
Clip it.
No, I can't not see it. But you cannot just grow these agents overnight. But the thing is like if I don't know. Like, you have to get serious about some of these things. You have to, like, they said that they were going to come in and shut down the FBI and shutter the headquarters and do all these things. Well, you need to follow through on some of this stuff, because nobody's taking you seriously because you're not doing the things that you said you were going to do. And so they're continuing on. They're not doing what we need them to do. We're not, like, they're completely, like, they're politically biased in terms of like what cases they go after, the people that they really seriously go after. And the thing is like, people are like, whoa, the wheels of justice take time or whatever. Well, they only seem to take time for conservatives, because I can tell you right now, when Democrats take over in 2028, they're going to fucking come after conservatives like no other. And they're going to keep people in jail before you even know what happened. And they're not going to need to investigate. They're not going to need to, look at these cases 5 years or whatever. Like, they will come after conservatives like never before, and they don't give a shit. And so they better keep that in mind, because this ends very quickly if we don't get serious about it.
I tell you what, though, the jail in Connecticut, that federal prison, if we lose in 2028, it is going to be awesome. We're all going to be there. It's going to be a party on the yard. Everyone here, we're all going away. It's going to be a good time.
No, I will just go off grid like Rambo. Like,
oh, dude, I'll be in Cuba. Are you kidding me? I'll be kicking it with Elvis.
I think Cash Patel's done a terrible job. I think he's done a terrible job representing himself and representing the FBI. And that's, he talked a huge game. He went on every podcast. Joe Rogan talked about all the exposing all the fraud, exposing all these people. The way he talks to people who question him, who he knows how conservatives feel about the FBI. He used to be, yes, he was a federal agent before he ran the FBI. He knows how we all feel about it. So for him to get up and become the head of the FBI and ask why us Republicans are asking him questions and be like insulted by it, I don't know why he's playing stupid. He's now treating us the same way all these other assholes have treated us before. And no, I think he's done a terrible job representing himself, representing the FBI, and continuing to show us that, no, we're not going to be transparent. And let's be real. Bongino can sit there and tell us all Cash has been there and he's been great and whatnot. Bongino would not be leaving this if this was not what he signed up to do.
I think Dan got like we were talking about it before. A lot of people were just like, fuck this, I am out. And Bongino,
he used to go so hard in the paint, and I would watch him on different news interviews recently, and he looks scared out of his mind, because it's almost like he wants to tell us the truth, because Dan used to go off on tangents on his show and go nuts, and he couldn't. And I feel like he's like, I can't keep doing this. And from what I'm hearing, because I talked to a lot of people, a lot of reporters being in PR and whatnot, like I talked to somebody, DOJ, New York Times today, and him and I were talking about the Bongino stuff, and they said that him and Bondi had a huge fight, and there was a huge separation before Thanksgiving, and it was the beginning of the end for Bongino.
Well, look, I absolutely believe that. I mean, look, Pam Bondi has been a disappointment in a myriad of ways, but not only has she been a disappointment, but she's the unforced errors. Like, I could give you the benefit of the doubt for a little bit when it comes to like what Jay was saying, that you can't just grow new FBI agents. But like, there's in the movie Casino, I don't know if you guys have ever seen it. It's one of my favorite movies. There's a scene where a guy gets hit for 3 jackpots within like 10 minutes. And Robert De Niro's character goes, either you were too stupid to notice it was happening or you were in on it. Either way, you're out of here. And that initial release with the binders, like who saw, and look, I know half of the people that were in that room, they are good people. I'm friends with Jack and Scott and Emily and a bunch of the people that are there. They're good people, and they got made to look like fucking idiots. And if I were them, I'd be really pissed. Half of them weren't even reporters. Like Scott Pressler, like he hasn't told me this, but I know for a fact he was like, "Why am I getting this?" Like, he's not.
He said it in his face. Like he said it. He didn't know why he was there. That when he was called to the White House, he was like, "Of course I'll go there." They didn't tell him anything. So he explained the whole thing in one of my spaces, and he said that nothing was mentioned of the Epstein binders. Nothing. Like they said that they were bringing influencers in there. They were going to talk to them. They were going to talk to them about like PR stuff or whatever. And then they presented them the binders or whatever. And then they're like, "What's going on?" Like. So anyways, but the thing about like the, Pam Bondi, like Trump, like I wouldn't have given her as long as Trump has. Like I get the whole he's, loyal to people that are loyal to him or whatever, but like I fully expected him to replace her by summer. And to her still be in there and absolutely nothing happening, like it's infuriating to conservatives. Like they're tired of being let down. They're tired. Like we ran his entire campaign about truth, transparency, equal justice, running down like these criminals and stuff like that, and absolutely nothing has happened, and they're frustrated. If we lose in 2026, it's because conservatives don't show up. Democrats are going to show up regardless, but if we lose in 2026, it's because conservatives didn't show up, and they're not going to show up because of this reason. I'm telling you right now.
Exactly. They're not motivated, and why would they be? You can't run on the promises of the last election. You have to run, and that's why I'm saying they're putting a lot of their weight in this big, beautiful bill and the tax returns and the market booming. If that doesn't come to like a serious
start though. Like the midterms will already be kicking off by the time people are even beginning to see that. Like we start like late spring is when the first election starts. Like that state's I don't know which state. I don't have it on my notes right now, but like they all start late spring. Like you have to be ready to go. Yeah, that's crazy.
It is, and I'm usually a pretty big optimist about these things. But historically, presidents lose their midterms.
You lose 26 seats, 24 to 26 seats. Look back in the history, that's the average. If you have the White House, that's as many seats as you're losing.
Oh boy. Well, I tell you what. If my congressman loses, I fucking announce the next day. So I don't want him to lose, but
Well, great conversation, guys. Been super insightful and valuable feedback. I want to cut to Tim Walz's response to the Nick Shirley investigation because Kevin's really excited
because Tim Walz looks like if Marge left Homer. Like what he would look is like, he doesn't know where the iron is. He can't really match well. The hair is he's got a whole Bernie Sanders I don't own a comb thing happening.
Well, let's check it out.
It's what happens when they target communities for their own benefit. This is what happens when they scapegoat. And this is what happens when they no longer hide the idea of white supremacy.
So it sounds to me, Nick, that Governor Tim Walz is saying that you and others that are out there trying to expose this, you're doing it because you're white supremacists. What is your response to him?
Yeah, Tim wants votes. There are entire apartment complexes where white people have been pushed out of these apartment complexes because Somalians have taken over and they're inside of these towns like Minneapolis where they can go get votes from these people. And if you have 100,000 people that will vote for you because you're going to enable and let this stuff happen and because you're going to call a white person racist for calling out facts, this is what's going to happen to a state like Minnesota. Minnesotans, they say Minnesota nice, but they are very upset. And fully understand why they're upset, because they don't have a governor who's actually working for them. He's actually working against them.
Nick, your video's been viewed 93 million times. What do you think will be the result of this? Do you think that things will change because of bringing attention to this, or do you think it'll be much the same, swept under the rug and keep moving forward?
Yeah, there better be change. People are demanding it. The investigations have been launched just from that video alone. And so there better be change because, like I said, we work way too hard to be paying taxes. We work way too hard to be not knowing where our money's going. And at the end of the day, the people in the government, they work for us. We don't work for them. And so it's their responsibility to hold these people accountable. And so if there's not something that's happened, people are going to be very frustrated. And so if President Trump's watching this, it's time to really get down to nitty gritty and to make a difference in this place of Minnesota that is pretty much like Somaliland right now.
What? White supremacy? My thoughts exactly. What?
Yeah.
What?
Absolutely ridiculous. That's their go-to. But I mean, it's just it's crazy. Like they have nothing else to stand on. They can't say, well, there's no fraud or anything like that. It's just white supremacists coming after us or whatever. But
I feel like that's also like so 10 years ago. Like that line just doesn't work anymore.
The liberals eat that shit up, though. I'm telling you, like they literally. I mean, just look online. They come after you with the same tropes, the same things. They're saying, post something on TikTok or whatever. Like, just look at all the fucking comments that you get from there. Like I posted about sending Somalis home for the holidays, and it was a nice gesture for President Trump to do that or whatever. It went viral on TikTok. But the thing is like, just look at some of the fucking comments that I get on there. It's just crazy.
Oh my God. There's a video that's out right now. I don't know if you guys saw it. The Leering Center apparently now has a bunch of kids at it.
Yeah, because they know, and they're trying to cover up exactly, like, they understand, like, because multiple families are probably in on the hustle, right? And so they're like, okay, well, let's cover it up. Let's make sure we got kids in there so we can pretend like we're actually doing the right thing or whatever. And they weren't doing the right thing. That's so stupid. Like, it's so infuriating. Bad. Yeah,
it's
so like
really sad because American people, like most voters, daycare was a huge issue. COVID babies,
right.
A lot of daycare shut down during COVID. And then a lot of people, there was an uptick in having children during COVID. And so when all the COVID babies came about, a lot of people couldn't find daycare. Daycare is outrageous, the cost of it. And then on top of that, all these daycares, the reason the cost has gone up on top of having to pay the teachers' salaries and everything else with inflation, there's all these demands they have to meet. They have to meet all the guidelines from their states to even stay open. And so
if you're honest,
and that's what's crazy to me, because it's like, I think of all of the daycares that do exist, they are barely surviving. They can barely keep daycare teachers. But then we have this, and so the American people, if they want children, but they have to work, they're struggling to even find a daycare. But then we have these Somali people in Minnesota who could just have some ricochet daycare and just bank in millions of dollars.
See, when I was growing up, there was an old lady in the neighborhood that watched all of us. Like, she got us all off all the guys in the neighborhood. And over the summer, she watched us when we were, young and our parents were working. And then, like, every regulation in the world came into it. Was just an old lady down the street who was trying to make a little extra money to get by. And she raised the neighborhood. And that woman was like a god in my town. Like, she didn't pay for a sandwich, not a slice of pizza, anywhere she went. Miss Carol, she watched everybody. And like kept a lot of us off the street. And now you have to have a master's degree in early childhood education to make $24 an hour to work at a daycare. Angela, I didn't know if you wanted me to leave that up there, but
yeah. Sorry, I had the other thing up there, so I took it down and it was there, and then it disappeared.
It's my favorite meme of the day so far. Somali daycare owners in Minnesota right now. The two kings from Coming to America.
Well, every state's different, but I know some states like Kentucky, Ohio, you can have 5 or 6 children max if you are like have an in-home daycare, and that's it. And because after like 5, you have to have like a helper.
Yeah.
And so it's like, that's great. It's all crazy to me. But the fact is the people that, again, try to do it right, they're out here struggling, they're paying their taxes, they're trying to keep the kids fed, keep the state off their back, they're trying to meet all the demands, especially after COVID. And now, of course, we have these people who can just open a daycare and just bring in millions of dollars.
Millions upon like, and the money is like
yeah.
It don't cost that much to watch kids, bro. Like it just doesn't. I don't care how many of them you got in your daycare. It doesn't cost $8 million a year to watch children. I'm sorry. What, you put on Bob the Builder and take a nap? Like, it is so. But you know what? That is just like the perfect Milton Friedman, Thomas Sowell example of like government programs. And like the problem with said government programs is that they just, all right, yeah, we'll just funnel money into it. And nobody checks anything. Nobody asks any questions. Nobody does anything about it. And then when it gets exposed, it never goes away. What does Sowell say? There's nothing more temporary. Oh no, what does Freeman say? There's nothing more permanent than a temporary government program.
Like, well, it costs $0 when they don't show up, right? When you funnel the money back into the community or whatever, that's what they're doing. I mean, it's obvious, and that's why they were livid when Nick Shirley was exposing them, right? Their hustle is up, but the thing is they got a governor that's going to protect everything that they're doing. They've got a governor that's going to go along with it, and now they're going to, like the Leering Center or whatever, they're gonna have kids show up and pretend like they're actually running a daycare or whatever until we get off their back. That's really what they're gonna do, and they're probably gonna get away with it. In Blue, Minnesota, they're probably gonna get away with it. It's absolutely fucking infuriating.
The Leering Center, like that is, they cared so little about getting caught that they didn't even fix the fucking sign.
That's everywhere. I feel like white people are like, we're like afraid to go 5 over the speed limit, right? Like the day our tags expire, we're at the court, we're paying to get our tags done for our cars, whatever, pay our taxes. I feel like white collar crime, all of us are afraid to even like do one little thing, but then it's like all the real criminals, they're out here balling. And that's how exactly, I was not going to get stimulus. But like, I know a ton of people that got like stimulus and all those like, paycheck protection plan, all the different stimulus and ideas during COVID. And I'm like, I'm not taking any of it because I don't want to deal with the government. I don't want to deal with it later. I know so many people in California. If you would go back and see how many people made so much fucking money off of COVID bankrolled California.
Ilhan Omar's husband got $600K in fucking PPP loan. Like, yeah, PPP. What was his business was her like campaign. Why would he get a fucking PPP like loan for
people
COVID?
Are getting PPP loans and they don't even really have a real payroll. Like their payroll is themselves. It was absolutely insane. And I know people that don't even work and they were coming up with like LLCs and getting crazy amounts of money. And I'm like, I would be scared to death. I would still, if I did something like that, I'd be sitting here scared to death. Like they're going to figure it out. I'm fucked. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm over
like Ilhan Omar's actual husband.
This off of my taxes? Am I allowed to get this off?
The white dude, he got like over $600K in PPP loan.
You ever notice that all the liberals who hate white people the most all marry white men? Have you ever seen a picture of AOC and her like fiance? They look like Timu, like Harry and fucking Meghan. Like they all marry white people. Kamala Harris married a white dude.
It's a hustle.
Ilhan Omar. They all marry white guys. I don't know
unless you marry your brother. Maybe it's different for Somalians.
Maybe the new marriage is a front for the old marriage because she married her brother.
Yeah, what do they call it with the gay guy that has a wife or whatever? That's their beard or whatever, like to cover for the whole thing. But I just It's just like why would he get a $600,000 loan? Like what he doesn't have a there's no company producing like vehicle parts. Like there's no like his like it was like a freaking political pack for his wife or whatever. Why would they get $600,000? Like it doesn't make any sense.
This goes back to 2020. Hey, DOJ. Hey, Trump. Like, they stole the election, right? We've not seen anything about election integrity and how anything that's gone on with the interference in 2020. And then we've also not seen, which means, Trump, you're still going to look like you lied. And then again, why have we not seen anything about the pandemic? Well, Fauci, or I know, what about all the stimulus money that was stolen? And taxpayers are still paying out their ass. Like, but here's the other thing. Trump just turned back on for all the hardworking Americans. They all now have to continue paying their debt, paying their student loans. All of these things are now being turned back on. That's fine. I'm okay with that. But at the same time, why are we not going after all these criminals? Why don't we get money from them? Because why? Why are we letting the dollars go into all these people?
Where's the $8 billion for the Medicaid fraud? Where's the $8 billion in Medicaid fraud in Minnesota? Like, where did that money go? Why aren't those people in prison? Why aren't we, selling their fucking Ferraris? Like, what in the hell is going on with that? Like,
I want to know where I can buy the government auction Ferrari. By the way, I got a feeling I could probably do some damage with that. I'll go down 8th Avenue at like 2:30 in the morning.
I'm down out shotgun.
I'm so like this. It's like conversations like this, and like I am scared if DOJ doesn't do anything and the administration doesn't step up. God forbid if Gavin Newsom wins. You think we have a problem in Minnesota? You guys, we are like 30 to 50,000 people, 30 to 50,000 people more than import in. We're done. Like our country is over. It's over.
Well, these are all very fair questions. A lot of, where's the money going? Where's it being spent? I think you guys might have seen this, but Ange said that Nick Shirley posted that daycare is officially now shut down.
Oh, maybe that's an old video. There's like a new liberal troll online who thinks nobody knows who he is. He's actually just like some really, really rich kid that tries to shit on Trump every day. I know him. But Spencer Hackyman. Have you seen him?
No, not yet.
I'll send it to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Jack said, Madeline, that's because you're not a criminal. Today's politicians want criminals to vote for them, which was part of the conversation we were having earlier, right? Of why people won't do anything about it. All right. Well, finally, to wrap this up, because, you were mentioning her already, Pam Bondi, we gotta, close it out with her statement. So her response to the Nick Shirley situation, Minnesota fraud. Nick Shirley's work has helped show Americans the scale of fraud in Tim Walz's Minnesota. The Justice Department has been investigating this for months. So far, we've charged 98 individuals, 85 of Somali descent, and more than 60 have been found guilty in court. We have more prosecutions coming. Buckle up, lawmakers.
Oh, Jesus.
Do you buy it? Buckle up.
And I want to
I don't.
Can they put out like all 85 people, because mugshots.com is like a thing. Can we get a mugshot of all 85 and click their link to see what they were actually arrested for or indicted for? Because I'm curious.
I haven't.
Like, did Pam Bondi and her DOJ do it, or is this like an old investigation that somehow rolled off, or is it like a DUI? Like,
Well,
I'm really curious.
Why mention Tim Walz though? Why mention Tim Walz in that tweet, right? You're mentioning him because you know that he's complicit in the crime. And so, if you're really going to be serious about this, you need to go after the big fish. You have to take him down and punish him with the process. Like literally get the ball rolling on some of these politicians, because you need to punish them with the process, because they're not afraid of you. They are not afraid to continue with this. They're laughing at him. Like it's a fucking joke. Like, don't even tweet about it. Like, seriously, I don't even want to see Pam Bondi. I don't want to see Mike Johnson tweet anything. Like, literally just put out what happened for the day, and that's it. Like, I want to see them actually doing shit. Like, you have to I don't want to see. I don't need their tweets. I don't need to know what they got going on. We got plenty of influencers out there that are going to tell us what's going on. We don't need to see shit from them. Why mention Tim Walz' name? Because you know that he's complicit in the crime, and so do something about it.
So Madeline and I actually have that pulled up right now. I'm going to try to share it to my screen. All what they were found guilty of and what they were sentenced for and everything. And there's a whole list on Wikipedia. They were found there's still trials going on, but they've been going on for the last couple of years. Let me see if can I do this?
She took office in January. So anything that happened prior to Pam Bondi taking office, I don't count as Pam Bondi doing the fucking job.
Does this work?
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So here we go. Let me try to scroll this down. Just tell me, is it scrolling?
Yes.
Okay, so here's the list of all the defendants that were sentenced, or what they stole, amount allegedly stolen, right here in that column. And they're sentenced. What?
Does it show when?
When? I will see. I do want to give a big shout out to Sharon Ross for being the only non-Muslim name on here. You know what, Sharon? Good on you, babe. Somehow you found a way to steal $2.5 million. I will look. Let me pull it up here. 2025.
My thought process though is for anything federal.
By November of 2025, out of these, what is this? 78 suspects, dozens pled guilty. So I think this might have been while she was in office, but I have to assume that in January 2022 they raided it. By October 24, the number of indicted individuals that reached. Yeah, so it was something that happened before her.
Right. Yeah, they're just finishing the job that the last administration did. So once again, Pam Bondi, like, why did it take Nick to come back around to get all of these people to open up the door again?
Hold on a minute. Hold on. They picked Tim Walz while this was all happening. That just dawned on me.
Yeah.
He was running for VP and it just didn't get mentioned.
Yeah.
Kamala Harris talks a lot of trash apparently about him in her book.
Well, yeah, because why? Look, Kamala Harris sucks, like bad, but even she was like, really? There's 140 million Democrats in this country, and this is the fucking guy you pick? Like him of anybody? Like,
yeah, they picked him because he's a veteran is one thing. So they wanted like somebody with the veteran status or whatever, so they can pretend like he's a good guy or whatever. But like he's not actually. Like he abandoned his soldiers before deployment. Tim Walz was the same rank that I was. I just didn't claim sergeant major fraudulently like he did. And so, and also too, I didn't abandon my soldiers before deployment like he did. He got out of his deployment or whatever. So he's, it's a clear case for stolen valor. He was never sergeant major. He claimed sergeant major, and he was actually a master sergeant.
Well, he's just a knucklehead. You remember that? He's a knucklehead. So he made up the fact that he was at, the most famous protest in the history of the world. Because he's a knucklehead. Like, I don't know. Just the fact that they picked him, and he's not going away.
He's a piece of shit. He's a piece of shit.
At least
they also couldn't pick anyone that was that smart or that would outshine Kamala because she was supposed to be she was running for president. So they had to find someone a little almost as her.
That's a great meme, by the way. They had to pick somebody dumber every time or whatever. Yeah. Tim Walz was the dumbest. So that's like Obama had to pick somebody dumber than him. He chose Biden. Biden chose Kamala, and then Kamala chose Tim Walz. So
you know who's growing really frustrated from what I hear is Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard's pissed about the Russiagate things with Obama, all the stuff that has come out that she's uncovered. And apparently she's not happy because she's turned over a ton of documents and a ton to the DOJ, and they've done absolutely nothing with it.
yeah, she stuck her neck out there, right? She exposed. She did exactly what we wanted her to do, to expose the fraud, expose the crimes, expose the whatever, the spying, all the shit that they've been doing or whatever behind the scenes or whatever, and then nothing is happening. That's
she
is
just
as frustrated.
Podcast recently. I don't remember if it was Sean Ryan or Tucker, but it was one of those big ones that you see everywhere. And I saw a few of the short clips too. And I was like, she's done. Like I had already heard from like different rumors from around the DOJ halls. But then when I was in DC, I was talking to people about it. But then when I saw her on that podcast, I was like, no, she's pissed. She's done. She
gave up her career. She was the darling child of the Democratic Party that actually probably could have like brought them back to reality, saved them. She probably would have been a presidential pick, maybe not 28, but maybe 32, if she had just shut up and like played the game for a little bit. Like, you know, she's a veteran, she's a woman, she's not white, she's hot. Like, it would have worked perfectly. But she gave it all up to do what was right, and now she's the only one seeming to do what's right. And if I was her, I'd be bad. Look, there's a lot of people in this admin that I can imagine being real pissed off that got in, like Dan and Tulsi, that got in thinking they were going to do the right thing, and for whatever reason, we don't know.
Elon Musk is so frustrated with. He did Doge. He put everything on hold. He did Doge or whatever. They exposed all this fraud. They put it all out there. He recruited this team of fucking fantastic kids to help expose it. And then absolutely nothing happened. They fucking refunded every single thing that they exposed. Like, it's just fucking
Speaking of headlines,
infuriating.
Like Elon Musk, everything. Angela, I don't know if this is like on topic for tonight, but like, have we talked about the Susie Wiles Vanity Fair? Like, did you cover it in a show and I miss it? Because I know. Like, I've always said she's a problem. Like, I've already said it in the show earlier. But, like, is anyone going to actually talk about the fact that, like, right before Christmas, Susie Wiles had, like, an entire interview where she talked shit about everybody in this interview? And it's recorded. She acted in the administration, like, wants everyone to believe her and, like, stick up for it. Like, this is a record. Like, hot take, this is recorded.
She did 11 interviews with Vanity Fair. Like, why you're sitting down with print media at this point for any reason? Like, look, you want to go on CNN, you want to go on ABC. I think that's good. You know, you have to fight in their world. But like Vanity Fair, what is this, 1996? Who gives a shit about Vanity Fair? Like, you know, did Miley Cyrus's nipple fall out? Like, who cares about these people? And she sat down for 11 interviews with them.
Well, the interview she gave before the holiday, and everybody really let it. I was surprised how quick conservatives were to let that go.
I think it's because of when it dropped. Like, it dropped right before the holiday, and
and then they were pissed because the close-up picture to Caroline Leavitt where you could see her lip injections and like her blemishes, which like no hard feelings, like not trying to be rude to Caroline Leavitt, but that's like I feel like conservatives wanted to like stand up for her, and we just completely forgot the whole story of Susie Wiles trashed everybody in this interview. It was crazy. I still can't believe no one's brought it back up.
I think the only thing I heard about it was about like her saying that Trump had an alcoholic's personality, right? That came out of that.
Yeah, which like, guess what? He does. Like, that's why he doesn't
So
drink.
that's the thing that I think people talk about.
She talked trash on Vance. She talked trash on everybody.
Everybody. She said Vance, I think she doesn't even like Trump. It's just politically expedient.
Yeah.
And then once that came out, then all the people who yell about Palantir were like, it's all a game. Everyone knows that. It's a game. It's all for Peter Thiel. And I'm like, all right, guys, maybe you're right, but you know, you're turning into the Bitcoin people. Like we were talking about Twitter Spaces before. You want to derail a Twitter Space? Just go in and say Bitcoin isn't real, and then leave.
But yeah, no, I mean, you're right. It hasn't been talked about very much, Madeline. So
I was just curious if anyone
yeah,
had a take on it, because I was like super shocked how quick it went away.
well, right, because it sounds real juicy or spicy or both of those things.
Well, she's very controlling of the Trump cabinet. You know, especially during the transition, nobody could tweet out anything. Everything had to go through Susie Wiles. Me and one other person were kind of the people to expose Susie Wiles on her not liking Elon because she couldn't control him. And when we put the story out, when I had him put the story out, like a couple hours later, you'll see Susie Wiles walking to the helicopter lawn with like little X and Elon. And I'm like, wow, what a PR spin. And all my friends started calling me. And it's like, I'm like, I have her numbered. And it's, you know, she's awesome at PR. She's great at spin. She knows the political game. But like, I think it's crazy that we're going to continue to let these people, again, Trump needs to stand up for his administration. This is his term, not anybody else's. And it really scares me that nobody is reminding Trump. Like, he has all yes man in the White House right now. And then there's a lot of people playing their own game.
Yeah. Well, these have all been such great points throughout this conversation so far. Really great. So I guess with our remaining time, we'll move on to kind of chatting. You know, I kind of naturally thought going into the new year, you know, kind of reflecting on big things that have come out of the year, moments, headlines. For me, obviously, a big standout was the assassination of Charlie Kirk. And I've just really been thinking a lot, you know, because mental health is so important to me. And just thinking about myself as well and this whole transition of leaving New York and coming to Florida and what that was all about. And it's all kind of wrapped up into that. And just from so many people over this, you know, recently that I've talked to, it has had such a major impact. The violent crime media coverage and things happening back to back. And the footage being so graphic, spreading so quickly like never before. It's a completely new dynamic to what we've seen in past decades, just clips within seconds circulating. And then you've got, the social media algorithms. Everyone has a smartphone, as you were mentioning earlier. Social media algorithms are pushing shocking clips. There's live streaming. It's just out there and it's unfiltered. And can just be seen so easily and just amplifies a lot. And so I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about, you know, your thoughts about that, how you all are doing with it. And I guess just raises some different questions, like should platforms police content more strictly? Is there some responsibility there? Like, should we have access to seeing, should things sort of be, you know, limited or blurred or so that it's not, you know, it's just really something interesting that stood out to me in this past year, especially because, you know, I feel like Irina on the train, her stabbing, and Charlie Kirk happened so back to back. And I just felt like it was so jarring for so many of us.
I mean, it's for me, it's like it's kind of an all or nothing type thing. It's like there's so many different people. We're talking about billions of people. How do you control that from getting out in seconds or whatever? You really can't. So you got to like. And the other piece is too is like who's in charge, right? Who's in charge of the company? What content are they gonna filter? What content are they not gonna let out or whatever? Well, we saw, in the past few years or whatever, a lot of conservative content will get suppressed for those reasons, and it's still getting suppressed even on X. And the thing is like, you know, they'll claim like. It's under the guise of like, safety and not showing these things or whatever, but like they use it as a weapon in a lot of ways. And so I don't want people to see Charlie Kirk getting shot. I don't want my kids to see that shit. But the thing is like, if we don't do that, do people like Nick Shirley not get their video out and expose this corruption? And so for me, it's kind of an all or nothing. Like, you're either for free speech or you're not. And I don't want the bad parts to get out. I don't want our kids to see that shit. But that's, I guess that's kind of a parental responsibility to monitor what your kids are seeing too, I guess. And because the thing is like when you start suppressing things or whatever, you're going to suppress the good things that come out too.
Absolutely. I think you gotta. I think something's got to be done about social media companies with kids under 18. Under 16, there's got to be some kind of cap on it, some kind of way to filter it out. That there has to be. Instagram is making girls insane. Boys are.
Snapchat is terrible for children.
Yeah.
Children like in middle school are starting to send nudes at like the age of 12 now because of Snapchat. I didn't have Snapchat in middle school, but my sisters were younger and they did. And when I watched what they went through with Snapchat and like the things they were seeing and like the messages at such a young age, I'm like, they live a completely different life than like all of us did.
Even like the way kids interact with Snapchat. Like I remember a kid in high school, is one of my friend's kids, asked me if I got a girl's snap instead of like her number. And I was like, why would I do that? And then I realized that you don't actually have to know the person. Like if I want to call one of you two, like I have to ask you for your phone number. And then we interact. On Snapchat, it's just random dudes like interacting until they find whatever the hell it is they're looking for.
You can see kids' locations. A lot of kids don't realize that their Snapchat locations are on. So there's a lot of predators on Snapchat that are just watching these young girls, and then they're going and finding them because you can find them on the maps. I think Snapchat is really dangerous, and it's one of those apps that is not talked about enough for children or young children, I should say, middle school and high school. I think it should be banned personally. And then you look at obviously TikTok, and you have all these little girls in crop tops dancing half naked, and with a Temu cup, trying to sell it to me for $1. I can't do it. Like I just can't.
With the Temu cup.
I keep like TikTok for me is like I get on and I'm like, why is every person on here either selling me something from China or I'm getting an algorithm that I'm not even gonna it's an algorithm that like it's a censored algorithm, and I'm just like I'm not interested in it.
Why
you don't follow me?
Why you getting a censored algorithm, bro? What the hell you?
Well, I'm getting because I like somebody told me to look up like juice box on TikTok. I don't even get on TikTok. Like I've never like
juice box.
And I'm like, what do you mean look up? And they're like, go put in the emoji like apple juice. And I'm like,
well,
and I get it. I know why they told me to do it because of like my stances on certain things. But like I was like, okay,
Jesus
now
Christ.
I get it. I was like, that's dumb. I was like, I don't care. Like I don't.
Why is that apple? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to do a deep dive after this because I don't know.
I promise you, you're not. I promise you, you're not gonna have to do that deep of a dive.
Yeah, like I'm not even that. Like I'm not that far down the rabbit hole, guys. Like I'm not. It's pretty like surface level.
You're not out here slapping groypers in the street.
No, like
rookie. You got to get your game up, kid. What are you doing?
I know. White supremacy. I feel like the new one is anti-Semitic. Like that's like the new word. Like it used to be like, oh, you're a white supremacist, you're a racist. Now you're an anti-Semite.
Yeah, people are throwing a lot of that around, right? It's the Nazi, the fascist, all
well, you know what the problem with it is?
I'm like, this is hot and dangerous. I'm out. Where's Kesha? Like, I'm going down the Kesha road at this rate.
Hot and dangerous. Oh, great. Thank you. I'll be singing that song all night now. Thank you. You know what it is that when you use words like that flippantly, all you do is give cover to the people that actually are.
Yeah.
And I think that that's incredibly dangerous.
Yeah, you got to reserve it for the real thing, right?
Exactly.
The word loses its meaning.
Because if not, you dilute the phrase, and then it just becomes like what it is. And look, there are definitely anti-Semites out there. There 100% are. Like,
Mhm.
just like there are racists, but they don't have that. The word doesn't have the bite anymore because it's used so just like
Right.
la-di-da.
Throwing it around.
Right. Like Nick Shirley is not a fucking Nazi, like out to get like the Somali community, right? He's out there, he's doing like he's exposing fraud. Like it has nothing to do with race. It wouldn't matter if they were Somali, it wouldn't matter if they were white. Like he's out there to expose fraud. People that are getting government funds that shouldn't be getting government funds on fake fucking, daycares. Like that's what he's doing, but it's just stupid.
I'm already singing the song. Like
We're going to distract you.
I know.
Ange said, just look at the Bondi shooting. The Australian government ordered all media outlets to remove the videos. X is the only platform that would not comply. That was also traumatic footage. Absolutely. And then I don't think banning social media for under a certain age works. That's a parent's responsibility, which is sort of what Jay was saying too.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's tough because parents now are not dealing. They're not. The world is so much different now. Look, I'm 36. I don't know how old you guys are, but like we grew up
A lot
relatively,
older.
but we grew up relatively the same way as our parents. And things were a little different. We had video games and shit like that, but it wasn't like as social media infused where like if you have the phone, like even my father with my niece and nephews, he's like, oh, don't worry, I put the parental controls on, and I'm like, sure, Dad. Yeah, I'm sure you
Well,
did.
like also moms and dad, like a lot of us are like posting our kids all the time. A lot of the moms are out here shaking their ass with their kids and like using their kids to get likes, as much as I don't want to say that. I think like there's some, that's going to be another interesting question. Like back in the day when kids, were on TV, there was certain rights the kids got to money and whatnot. I'm really interested to see, as in time, all these kids that are all in their diapers and are growing up on their parents' TikToks, if they're going to hit them with, if there's any going to ever come of anything where kids get a certain amount of money for being in the TikToks or being in the social media, because it hasn't been discussed, but it's going to come because there's a royalty that all these child actors and actresses dealt with their whole lives with their parents. And now we're going to see it, I think, eventually.
I want to be clear, when that happens, I hope Elon takes me to Mars. Like, I'm just not ready for that. Take me with you, Elon. I will help you. Well, I won't help you repopulate Mars, but like, I'll do,
I'm down.
I'll do my part.
Really? You're going to stick around for all this, and that's the thing that's sending you to Mars?
Yeah. There was, I spoke to a friend of ours who knows Elon, and I said that if a certain person got a job in the White House, that Elon needed to send me to Mars, and then they did, and somehow I'm still here. So I'll text you who it is, Angela. You're gonna laugh.
I will laugh.
It's exactly who you think it is. But yeah, it was. I was like, I don't know. I'm ready to. But you're so right about that. Like, will there be? Like, is there going to be a case where like some prissy little 16-year-old girl sues her parents for their TikTok following?
Probably.
Like, that is so fucking weird, man. That's so weird.
I'm only assuming that just because, I mean, if you have a kid and your kid, I mean, I post family photos like with my daughter on it, but like I'm not out here posting a TikTok a day, 5 TikToks a day with her walking around half naked or just, and also the things AI can do. I always caution people like posting your kids, like it's going to get really scary people out there. So be careful what you do post of your young children. But like, I do think it's going to be a thing. I think people are going to look back and be like, I don't want my, like all that posted. I look online now and I'm like, wow, there's a lot. Can you imagine all these kids, everything they do is on social media now. And so like their entire life is going to be Googleable. You can ChatGPT a dossier of these people from the time they're a baby. And like, that's crazy to me.
Yeah. Well, and I've seen documentaries too that have come out of these like families that do the YouTube channels and the videos, and they profit like an insane amount, but they're kids and they're essentially like abusing, like working their kids, and then they're the ones profiting and making all the money off of it. So
a lot of the kids can't even go to school because
yeah.
like a lot of the YouTube, if you go look at YouTube families, no like judgment here, but like a lot of YouTube families, it's not because the kids can't go to school, it's because the kids have to film.
Yeah.
And so yeah, they live in these big houses and probably have a lot of cool toys, but at the end of the day, like when they look back, they never did they agree to all this. I think there's going to eventually, not anytime soon, there will be something that comes of all of the content that's created and rules around it for parents with kids.
I actually just checked out. I did a dossier of myself in AI. I'm not liking what came up. I'll tell you that.
What's it say?
I'm not even reading it.
Okay.
No, it's actually pretty accurate. Oh, this one isn't. That's bullshit. Yeah, whatever. It's got my Southern Poverty Law Center designation. Yeah, this is pretty funny. Everyone should do this for themselves. See what comes up. Sorry, my ADD just kicked in real hard.
No, you're fine. I was just thinking of it because it's so funny to think that these kids are like out there, and the parents teach them to say something really funny on on camera. Okay, sure, but then you have all of these people doing it. Kevin's really doing a deep dive.
Yo, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. This is not. In 2009, Smith pressured Litchfield School Board to remove David's essay, "I Like Guys," from the high school curriculum because it was pro-gay. In 2009, I was a freshman. I was 19. I didn't do that.
And it's all right. I can't believe you actually just did what I said. I was only giving like an idea.
Yeah, you can do it. I literally Googled, write me a dossier of Kevin Smith and the Loud Majority. And it's pretty accurate.
Well, so yeah, going back to sort of just all of this is key things that we're seeing and changes, and a lot of cause for concern, and basically how is it impacting all of us, our mental health? Does instant availability to this stuff change how society processes violence? Is an interesting question. And then just like so many people I've had conversations with, right? Like a lot of these people we're talking about, like, I mean, all of us included, like who go out there and do things like Kevin, all this like on the grounds, like events, Brandon Straka, and like people who are, out there on the ground, like at these events, are there, definitely an increase in safety concerns and security and conversations about that at events. And I just feel like it's, this was a year where I think more than ever, it's been on our minds, and people have needed to take like social media breaks and just like take breaks for a while. So I just feel like that was such a big part of so many conversations that I had with people. I don't know how you guys are feeling about it.
I think there was first of all, I always say this about security concerns and whatnot, that like I think security is something you feel that isn't really real. Like, how secure can you actually be? They killed Charlie Kirk. They took a shot at the president. So how well am I doing if I'm going out there doing this stuff? But it's something you think about. You think about it all the time when you go out. I was talking about it on the last show we were on. When I spoke at Stony Brook, I thought about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a nobody. And I'm in my hometown. Like, I'm friends with the police chief. So it's not like I'm at some random university in bumblefuck New York. Like, it's something you think about.
But that's also why I always say, like, we're all sitting here and we're all out here talking. When all these random people come threatening us, making these horrible comments online, I think anonymous accounts, it's all bullshit. But at the same time, it's just an added stressor that we all have to think about. And I always like try to remind myself when I want to say something like really harsh back to someone, like they're dealing with a lot too. We're all putting our opinions out there. And if you have an honest account, like good for you. But for all the people who don't, even if you only have 1,000 followers, but you're out there stating your opinion, 100 followers, and you're out there putting your face, your name out there, good for you for having the courage, because a lot of people are cowards and they don't. And people aren't even cowards. They're afraid of their job, lose their jobs, their family, whatever. I mean, I get hundreds of emails and DMs, like I'll be posting about something. They'll be like, here's more of this. Like, I can't post it, but you can. And it's like, yeah, it's sad.
I also think that people that have anonymous accounts, like, they bother the shit out of me on a serious level. Like, I have friends that have anonymous accounts, people that I genuinely like, as humans. But like, if you're an anonymous account doing like news shit, like Roz Alerts, okay, that's a good example. He's got a giant account, posts news stuff all day long. I have less of a problem with that than like the people who attempt to influence, like, to be an influencer, so to speak, and they do it with an anonymous account. Like, bro, show your face. Like, who are you? It bothers me because, like, and then like, oh, you're doxing me if you post my picture. And I'm like, dude, you're on the internet, bro. Like, doxing is like your address and your phone number. It's not like we posted a picture together. And so I think that, there's a lot of gray lines in social media that I think we haven't yet worked out yet, which is a problem considering we're never going back.
Well, and the people we've made famous is pretty incredible too. Like, I'm one to blame as well, but I mean, Kardashians are a great example. I mean, they look at who they are. They've become famous based on the media and social media for sure. But yeah, we continue to make stupid people more famous.
One bit of media in particular. not that I've, I read that in a book somewhere. Not that I don't even know what I'm talking about now. But no, it's no, you're right. We definitely elevate stupid people in this country. And in our world, there are a lot of people, and I'm sure I'll get in trouble for this one. The I'm just asking questions crowd. The people that get 2 million followers because they're like, okay, person says thing A. Now I'm going to, no matter what it is, go to thing B. It doesn't matter if Epstein or Israel or Charlie or whatever the flavor of the week happens to be. Whatever the prevailing narrative is, they do the opposite. They hated Joe Biden and the Democrats. Now they hate Donald Trump and the Republicans. In 4 years, they'll hate Democrats again. And they'll just make an entire career off of like being contrarians. They stand for nothing. They believe in nothing. And that shit bothers me on a very serious level because it is not hard to complain. It is hard to win and hard to govern. And, look, Fox News wouldn't be what it is without bitching about Obama for 8 years. MSNBC and CNN would be dead right now without Trump because all they do is bitch and bitch and bitch and bitch and complain. And there's a lot of people on the internet who have made their careers off doing just that. And it's a bit frustrating.
That frustrates me too. That's such a good point because that's something that I get criticism from like my liberal friends, by having these conversations. It's like, well, do you like, they just want me to like stand on a rock and like yell at people or like just be like, and so like you saying that it's not hard to complain. Like there's so much of that. Like I have friends that are just like so angry and they just want to like yell at Trump on the TV. They just want to like, and they want me to yell at everyone else that they don't agree with. It's like, but how is that helping anything? How are we getting anywhere? Like, what are you actually doing? So they're just so critical, not even understanding like what I'm trying to do. Yeah. And they just want me to complain and bitch and be angry. And I'm like, I don't see how that's constructive.
Exactly. Those are just I have a cousin like that. She sucks.
I think you're doing a great job, Angela.
Thank you. You're so sweet.
No, but you know what it is that like if you have a strongly held belief about one particular topic, that's not going to change. Like here we go. I don't believe in free trade. I don't. I think free trade has been bullshit for a long time, put in place by people in the chambers of commerce so that billionaires can get cheap labor and Americans can smile when they go to the dollar store. Right now, there are many neocons in power still who believe in that. There are people out there like Lindsey Graham who can only get an erection when we're bombing something. Like, I don't believe in that. I don't care if we're in power or we're not in power. I believe in tariffs. I believe in protectionism. I'm an isolationist. If you're in Winnipeg or you're in Mexico City, I don't give a shit at all. And that's going to be what I feel no matter who's in power, no matter what they're doing. But there's some people that just like, they stick their, like people like Kamala Harris, stick their finger in the air and go which way the wind is blowing. A lot of people on social media stick their finger in the air and go the opposite of the way the wind is blowing, no matter what. That's how you get people out there like Candace, who made a career out of being a contrarian and now has lost Alex Jones in the conspiracy realm. Like, I love Alex to death. He's my doppelganger. He's incredibly handsome. But, it's just the fact that, like, I bet you didn't realize that till I said it, Maddie, right? Yeah. Black Hawk helicopters have been spotted. Everything's different now. But there's some people like Candace who it's like are just taking the opposite opinion because that's how they got famous. And it does frustrate me on a very serious level. Very modest too, says Joe. Yes. Alex and I, both 10s.
NYC 10s.
And we all please.
NYC 10s.
We are like DC 40s.
Well, I hope that the one thing I will say is that our party, we need to be careful because I think censorship is a problem, and I think that as much as the left did it to us, I am seeing the right starting to censor, and I think we're going to really regret it if we keep going down this road of censoring different platforms. Don't want to let certain narratives go on that. I think it's a really bad thing because I think it's going to come right back. I don't care what the stance is. It could be about anybody, anything. We should not censor. It should be free, fair market on social media. You want to be able to say something, go say it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I am a big believer in the marketplace of ideas, and that if your
ChatGPT should not be allowed to censor, and it's being censored. There's a lot of censorship happening now, and there's a lot of things that I know are going to take place, and I think we're going to have a lot of regrets looking back. I think we'll have a lot of regrets.
Well, because censorship is something that is convenient when you're in power, but then when you're not, you're bitching about it. And
were conservatives ever really uncensored though? Like we just got a little bit of a breath in X, and if you're smart, you can also get around some of the because the TikTok algorithms are kind of dumb, so they're easier to manipulate and they're easy to get around, in my opinion. Whereas X, it's kind of like you're guessing sometimes on what's being suppressed or whatever. But like, I don't think that conservatives were ever really cut loose. There was a little bit of little bit of relief when Trump was shot, and like a lot of conservative accounts grew then on X or whatever, and Elon kind of jumped on the
scene. Can't even go back to YouTube. A lot of people who lost their YouTube accounts cannot just go back to YouTube.
Right.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like, what?
I'm just going to put this into perspective, okay? So I've had my YouTube and my Rumble for pretty much the same amount of time, since like 2021, I would say. I have 3,500 followers on YouTube. I have 120,000 on Rumble. I'm doing the same show every day. Nothing is new. And it's just because YouTube doesn't show it. But, they can take down certain episodes of random people. They can, I think there was a story a couple years ago of some like car guy who he like fixed cars and got booted off of YouTube because he was talking about changing his tranny. And like the algorithm picked up and you can't say that. And it was like, it was wild. Or Megan Murphy, she got Megan Murphy, I think her name is. She's like a Canadian feminist. She got banned from Twitter for saying men aren't women. I think the censorship on the right was so bad that now we are just so happy to be able to be heard anywhere that we don't notice that it actually does, that we're like, like the censorship was a 10. So now we're saying, daddy, thank you, that it's at a 9.
Right.
And
yeah, exactly.
I think that's what it is. Is that, I mean, look, if you want, you can go to Blue Sky. And you can yell.
And you'll get banned within a day. Like it
the
doesn't
only
take
problem is when you have censorship like this on certain platforms, what happens is those platforms become an echo chamber. And echo chambers are exactly how the left became. Their party just continued to vote together. They all continue to say the same things, and then it blew up in their faces because they all believed each other's lies and the bullshit with the trannies and all. They went too far left. And if we're not careful, we're going to go really way too far right.
But that's why I think it's so funny when you hear people talk about like how Twitter is right wing now. And it's like, no, it's fair. It's just that they have been so pre-programmed to think that the amount of the amount of leftists who think they're moderates because in the Overton window scale, well, I'm not Bernie Sanders. I'm not Zoran Mondani. I'm just a Democrat. And it's like, no, you're still a leftist. You're just not a far leftist. You know,
the Democrats just all left Twitter. Like they're just
that's what I was gonna say. They did.
And so honestly, you're on Twitter and it's just like you see the same thing. You see the same people. Even if it's new people, it's all the same stories. It's all the same opinions. It honestly kind of makes X a little less fun. Not that you want different, you want the fight and the bad comments, but you want to see the other side of it. And this whole having these different platforms where we all can't just see and have these conversations, that's what sucks. And going back to Charlie Kirk, that's why he wanted the dialogue. Yeah. And that's what Twitter was supposed to be about, and media and creating these stories. And it's just so unfortunate because these platforms want to keep censoring us. So it's like, all the left are on this platform. All the right are on this platform. Certain people on the right go onto this platform. Certain people on the right go here. All the fashion and like it to know it girls are on Instagram. You just you know where to go if you want certain things. And it's just very unfortunate because we're losing out on actually having a dialogue and really understanding each other.
I feel like a lot of the sub platforms really died. True Social and Blue Sky, and remember when they tried to make Threads a thing? That was cute for 10 minutes. For some reason, we all got signed up for it, even though nobody asked to be. It was like when U2 put that album on your phone, even though you didn't ask them to do it. But I feel like there's still the main ones. There's Twitter, there's Facebook, there's Instagram. If you buy a TikTok, if you a housewife, you have Pinterest. That way you could make your home decor never look like the photo, ever. But you could try, but it's never going to work out that way.
This is a great point.
Just saying.
Wait,
TikTok does?
Angela, doesn't Blue Sky have a ton of Democrats on it? I feel like there's a ton of liberals on.
That's all it is.
It's not dead. It's just we're not on it. It's not our conversation. But it is like getting on Twitter for Democrats. They live on it just the way Republicans live on Twitter.
Yeah, but it's way more hardcore. If you say anything conservative on there, you will be banned from the platform immediately. Because I have an anonymous account over there, and really a parody account or whatever. And but the thing is you cannot put anything conservative on there. They'll immediately ban you.
What's Taylor Lorenz up to? I haven't heard from her in a while. Has she gone outside yet?
I don't know. I'll check it out. I'll see. I don't know. I haven't seen it either.
We don't follow each other. I'm not. Yeah.
I know Taylor Lorenz.
Get on there and go after Democrats and actually say things to them. They'll just.
You cannot. You'll be kicked off the platform immediately. I'm telling you, anything conservative you say on Blue Sky, you'll get kicked off immediately.
Oh, fuck them.
There's no conversation over there. And that's the other thing. That's the other thing too is on X or whatever. what conversations are we having on there with, you know, liberal accounts, right? Like I get called a Nazi like 30 times a day. Like that's my interaction with liberals on there. Like there's no like nothing
They're
positive,
calling
nothing.
me a Nazi, so I mean,
Right.
there's
Yeah,
no
yeah.
hope for
Like, okay,
you.
that's my liberal interaction for the day or whatever. They call me a fascist and Nazi or whatever, and then that's it. So like, do I really even want to have the conversation?
Do it. It's fun.
No,
I live in Harry Sisson's comment section. I live there because he's so much fun.
Yeah, I have better things to do.
I mean, there are exceptions, you hope, right? It's like, I feel like in some of our spaces that we were doing a while ago, like, you know, John Collins would be there. And like, we were able to, you know, sometimes it's good to try and see, you know, like if we didn't try, like we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. So it makes me happy, you know. Yeah, it's a case by case basis, but
Yeah.
we can keep trying. I think, you know, our intentions are good and we're in the right place. And I think there's more people that are feeling this way right now, you know, so.
Well, it has to do with emotional maturity too. Like there's a lot of emotionally immature people on there that just can't handle having a conversation, can't you know, can't think through the other side, can't challenge ideas or anything like that. They're just really bought in on it, and they're gonna throw a fit if you say anything else about it. So I don't
But a lot
know.
of us stand for something. Like we're not afraid to speak our mind and like put our face out there and say what we believe in. Like 90% of American like people, they A, won't do it, and B, if they will do it, they're gonna hide behind another account. So like a fake account. So like that's the sad thing is like we live in that world too. And so I do get what you're saying, where it's like it's a case by case basis. But the censorship, I highly like want to say I think Republicans should try to not go on down the road of censoring, because we have cried for like a decade about censorship, and even though we're still being censored, I just don't think it's right to censor other people or certain narratives.
No, absolutely. Nothing should. I don't think almost anything should be censored.
Yeah.
I think if it's that bad, it'll weed itself out. And I think that good people have to stand up to the stuff that they find to be reprehensible, whatever that sort of thing may be. But I got to jump.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I know we're going to wrap up. Thank you so much, Kev. I appreciate you being here. Go ahead and peace out, but I'll talk to you soon. Thank you again so much.
Guys,
anything you want to shout out? Yeah, go for it.
Nah, just you know, hit the little follow right here. Hit that little follow button, Kevin Smith 45. Now that you all know I look and sound like Alex Jones and totally ruined my relationship with Maddie. So I'll catch you guys soon. If I don't see you, have a happy new year. Everybody be safe. Remember, an Uber costs a lot less than a lawyer. So
absolutely.
There's my little
Be
PSA.
safe. Happy New Year, Kevin. Thank you so much. Everybody follow him. Check out Loud Majority. Thanks,
no
Kev.
passion problems, Kevin.
Well, thank you guys so much. This has been awesome. Joe said, thanks, guys. Fun space. Hey, we're streaming. We're streaming here. We're on all the things at once. I appreciate you guys. Oh no, I lost Jay. Jay, what happened? Maybe he's gonna come back.
I roll my eyes. I feel like he
we'll roll. There we go. Wait, you see, he's back. We'll simultaneously roll our eyes, and we brought you back.
When you disappeared, I was like, I just need to roll my eyes.
We just both roll our eyes, and then you reappeared. It was perfect.
I lost audio. I've had technical difficulties tonight.
Well, you've done great. I mean, we made it, you know, basically 2 hours. So here we go. It all worked out. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really enjoyed this conversation. As always, really, really great conversation. Great. So many great points. The chat was lighting up. They were loving it, weighing in. It was really, really great. So if I don't see you guys or talk to you, Happy New Year. Madeline, are you having a chill New Year's after your big Christmas, or no, you have big plans?
Going out of town, yeah.
Well, I hope you have a great time.
Thank you.
Everybody give her a follow. Madeline, anything you want to shout out?
No. See everybody really soon, hopefully in the next new year.
Yes,
I love
absolutely.
coming back and visiting on Angela's podcast.
Oh, you're the best. I love having you. You're amazing. Thank you so much for being here. I know you got a lot going on, so thank you so much. Happy New Year. And Jay, what you got going on this week?
Nothing really. I'm old, so I don't do anything special for New Year. But it is my birthday this weekend, so
Happy birthday!
yeah, so be my birthday. So hopefully have fun that night. But yeah, no shows this week. Next week I got a fighter pilot on there to talk some war stuff. But other than that, nothing crazy. So follow me on YouTube. Follow me on Rumble.
Yes, please do. Follow them both.
Yeah.
Well, happy birthday, Jay. Happy
Thank you.
New Year, guys.
New Year.
Look forward to more bold voices in 2026. Thank you so much for joining. Thanks so much, guys, for being here. Any final comments, questions, anything in the chat? Go for it right now. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for reposting the stream. If you haven't already, please subscribe over on YouTube if you're on there. Yeah, this has been really, really awesome. So we, kind of kicked off top news stories of 2025 tonight. I'm going to be continuing it tomorrow. So tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern time will be the final live stream of 2025, as far as I know. That's the plan. I don't think I'm going to be doing any more. So tomorrow we will finish talking about some headlines from 2025, some hot topics, memories, moments, and kind of wrap up that way. Maybe, some reflections, maybe some chat about what we're looking forward to in 2026. Hopes, dreams, goals. Do we do resolutions? Do we not do resolutions? How do you guys feel about it? So if you're around, would love for you to tune in, would really appreciate it, because I love interacting and chatting with you guys and getting to hear your thoughts and, feedback, questions, comments, expertise. So yeah, can't do it without you. Appreciate you always. Thank you so much, guys. So tune in, please, tomorrow for the final 2025 stream, 7 p.m. Eastern time. And I will see you then. Hope, again, everyone had a beautiful Christmas. And yeah, let's wrap up 2025 together tomorrow and talk about the future and what we're looking forward to, and kind of reflect on this past year and what it's been like for everyone. So thanks, guys, so much. Stay bold.